Hi guys, Everything NFL here, and today I am back with a brand new video after a day off yesterday, so I hope you guys didn't mind, but I am back with a very, very good video going over if the Browns are finally ready to contend in the AFC North in 2020. And before we get into it, I just want to say a quick thank you for all the support on all of my videos really. My Buffalo Bills video is now standing at about 155 views and 16 likes. And my Arizona Cardinals video is nearly 370 views on my channel, which is insane. I cannot thank you guys enough. And all support is greatly appreciated. So before we get into the video, make sure you go down and subscribe and also turn on notifications so you never, ever miss an upload. No more messing about. Let's get right into it. After coming into the 2019 season with the most hype out of any NFL team, the Cleveland Browns did what they usually do and slumped to an extremely underwhelming, poor record of 6-10 is what they did. But the Browns have been consistently poor, and I don't know why all of us, our opinions had changed going into the 2019 season. But this video is going over if they can turn it around in 2020, and we will be going over that in today's video. Let's start with the offense and then move on to the defense like we always do. So yeah, under center, the Browns have young former Oklahoma product Baker Mayfield, who was a rookie in the 2018 season. He had a fantastic rookie year in 2018 after being selected first overall in the draft. He had 3,725 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. He broke the rookie passing touchdown record and helped the Browns to a 7-8-1 record, which was their best record. I can't remember how many years, but it was one of their best records they've had in a long, long time. But Baker Mayfield, he also won Offensive Rookie of the Year as far as I'm aware. But I'm not sure, it was either him or Saquon Barkley, I can't remember for some reason, it slipped my mind. But however, he regressed big time in 2019 with a poor set of stats. He had 3,827 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, and 21 interceptions. Too many turnovers and mistakes, which he will undoubtedly improve on as he is still very, very young. He's still an extremely young quarterback in the NFL. As far as I'm aware, he's only 25, so he's still got a lot of time to improve and make the best out of it. And the team around him is also obviously going to help him become a better player than he is now. Now let's move on to the running backs. A great backfield spearheaded by young sensation Nick Chubb, who was selected in the second round of the 2018 NFL draft out of Georgia. He had a breakout season to establish himself as a top NFL back. He rushed for 1,494 yards and 8 scores alongside 278 receiving yards and no touchdowns in 2019. So going up to nearly 1,800 all-purpose yards and 8 touchdowns. Fantastic stats. He's one of the most electric running backs in the NFL. But I think he's also going to improve. He's finally starting to establish himself as a top back, and that's what more so he's going to do in 2020, I think. He's backed up by a controversial player in Kareem Hunt. I love Kareem Hunt as a player off the field. He's had some very bad problems, which we won't be going over in this video. Most of you guys should know about it, and I don't really want to talk about it in this video. But he's had some controversial issues off the field, but he's a fantastic running back when he's on the field. He played a limited role in 2019 after coming back from suspension, but you could see his role increased in 2020. But he's also signed a second-round tender in the 2019 offseason, or 2020 offseason, sorry. But who knows what's going to happen with Kareem Hunt. He might get traded. He might even stay as a backup. Who really knows? But at tight end, the Cleveland Browns recently picked up the 5th-year option on Miami product David Njoku after being picked 29th overall in 2017. Although Cleveland added a superstar tight end in former Falcon Austin Hooper, who will surely add a new dimension to the Browns' offense. In 2019, Hooper accumulated 75 receptions for 787 yards and 6 touchdowns. Fantastic for a tight end, and he will help improve the Browns' offense immediately. Njoku's been inconsistent, barely played last season, so Austin Hooper's a great addition. But if Njoku is also fully healthy on the field, it could be fantastic in Cleveland at the tight end position. At wide receiver, they have superstar wideout Odell Beckham Jr., who was traded leading up to the 2019 season. In the trade, the Browns sent the Giants a first-round pick, a third-round pick, alongside guard Kevin Zeitler and Jabril Peppers as a safety. And the Browns received Odell Beckham Jr. and defensive end Olivier Vernon. OBJ had a down year last year and only accumulated 74 receptions for 1,035 yards and 4 touchdowns. If we're calling that a down year and Odell himself is calling that a down year, then God knows what to expect in the future. Odell reckons he's bigger, he's better, he's healthier, he's faster, he's stronger, and he reckons that 2020 is going to be his best season of his career. And if that is the case, then Odell could go off in 2020. He is also alongside his former LSU teammate Jarvis Landry, former Miami Dolphin. I'm a big fan of Jarvis Landry. He's a solid receiver. In 2019, he was better than Odell. He had 83 receptions for 1,174 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. A fantastic duo at wide receiver. As far as I'm aware, the Browns have just re-signed Hollywood Higgins to come back and be as the number 3. But don't judge me. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure. As far as I'm aware, that happened. The Browns now have a solid offensive line with 10th overall selection in the 2020 NFL Draft. Jedrick Wills Jr. out of Alabama, who was Tua Tagovailoa, now of the Miami Dolphins. Blindside protector. He would be fantastic on the line. He's going to play left tackle, even though he played right tackle at Alabama. He's going to shift over to the left because, moving on to the next subject, the Tennessee Titans let go Jack Conklin, a fantastic Pro Bowl right tackle, into free agency, and the Cleveland Browns signed him. I think it was to a 3-year, how much was it? I think it was 3 years, 45 mil or something. I'm not too sure. Don't judge me on that. But Jack Conklin will be amazing. He's a former Pro Bowler, and I think Jack Conklin's fantastic, and he will be fantastic in this Cleveland Browns system. At guard, they have veteran Joel Bitonio, who is fantastic, and in my opinion, one of the most underrated guards in the NFL. And on the other side, he's a little bit weaker, but they've got Wyatt Teller, who in my opinion is the second best guard on this team, but they can do a lot better than that. And at centre, they have J.C. Tretter, who is a solid NFL centre, and as far as I'm aware, is now the leader and head of the NFL Players Association, so congratulations to him. In free agency, they signed Kyle Joseph from the Raiders. Never really got it going in Oakland as a starting safety, kind of got his job taken from him by the likes of LaMarcus Joyner, and what the hell is his name? I've forgotten his name. Name doesn't come off the top of my head. But Kyle Joseph was let go and wasn't very good. But he should be good in Cleveland if he's actually playing every week. And the Browns needed safety bad. And in the second round, they selected Grant Delpit, a safety out of LSU, who is a raw talent, but if he improves, he could be a sensational selection. Not last year, not in 2019, in 2018. Delpit was the best defensive player in college football, and that wasn't even in the shadow of a doubt. If the Browns get that version of Grant Delpit, they're getting themselves a superstar, and I'm very excited to see how Delpit does for the Cleveland Browns. Denzel Ward, fantastic option at cornerback. In my opinion, it's only a matter of time before he fully breaks out and blossoms into one of the top corners in the National Football League. They also have, in the second corner spot, 2019 second-round pick Greedy Williams out of LSU, who played well but will surely improve with experience, and him next to Denzel Ward is a fantastic duo at cornerback. And now at linebacker, this is where the team's weakness is after letting former Pro Bowl linebacker Joe Schobert go in free agency to sign a deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have BJ Goodson, a middle linebacker is a solid option, but nothing outstanding. At outside linebacker, they have Mac Wilson, who in my opinion is a beast waiting to break out. I really liked him coming out of Alabama in 2019. He was a 5th-round pick, I believe. But I saw a lot of potential, and I still do see a lot of potential. I think Mac Wilson will be a beast. And on the other side, they also have outside linebacker Sione Takitaki, who didn't make too much of an impact, so I see the Browns looking at a linebacker in the future. But yeah, linebacker, last year offensive line was weak for the Browns. This year it's linebacker, and that's where I see them going over in the future. On the defensive line, the Browns have former first overall selection in the 2017 NFL Draft, Myles Garrett, who has, I think it's 30 sacks in 36 games or something. Really, really good. And I think he's amazing. He's a superstar. He had 10 sacks in 2019 before being suspended for the rest of the season after hitting QB Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph with his helmet. With Mason Rudolph's helmet in Week 10. It was stupid. Could have seen him suspended, could have seriously hurt Mason Rudolph, and it was terrible. And hopefully he's learned his lesson and nothing like that ever happens again. If Garrett is on the field, he is a near unstoppable force. On the other side to him, they have Olivier Vernon on the other side, who's also a solid option, played for the Dolphins, played for the Giants, now with Cleveland. Didn't play too well in 2019, but should be good on the other side. And in the middle, they have the beast from Charlotte, Larry Ogunjobi, fantastic defensive tackle, extremely underrated, and Sheldon Richardson, who was a bit of a flop last year on the defensive line. But they should play well as a duo, and as a bit of a security option, they also added former Cincinnati Bengals defensive tackle Andrew Billings out of Baylor in free agency in 2020. Now, what do I think the Browns are going to do? Overall, I think the Cleveland Browns are the second best team in the AFC North, behind the Ravens, obviously, and have a chance to compete for a wildcard spot in 2020. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the decline. I don't think Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are ready to compete yet, but I think the Browns are finally in a fantastic new head coach in Kevin Stefanski, a new general manager in Andrew Berry. I think the Browns are ready to compete, and I think that's what they're going to do in 2020 and compete for a wildcard spot, because I still think the Baltimore Ravens are just too good in this division. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new video, probably on the New England Patriots, so look forward to that, Patriots fans on the channel. And obviously, thank you guys so much for all the support recently. And before we click off, don't forget to go down and like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never, ever miss a video. And also leave some comments, because I reply to every single one. And yeah, so yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new video. See you later, guys.